If I tell you the number of rejection emails I have in my inbox.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Serious Hangout. I'm your lovely host, Joyce Luanda, and today I have a very, very special guest on the episode, which is
Am I the special guest?
Yeah, so Mommy.
Yeah.
Mommy, how do I say your name? I'll call
Mame Bohulu. Let's just take with that one.
Okay, let's stick with the government name. Let's stick with the government name. Okay, so before we dive into the serious topic or the serious conversation of today, let's do some icebreakers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
So,
break the ice.
What did you have for lunch?
Oh, honestly, I haven't eaten anything. Today I only had an iced coffee. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
And you're fine?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Well, I can never, I ate breakfast, lunch, and I'm still hungry. Like, my tummy is crawling.
Me personally, I'm not a breakfast person. So.
But then you just had iced coffee for lunch.
That's the first thing I had as soon as I go into work.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
What would it be? Teleportation.
Okay.
Only because I could go anywhere at any time. Not worrying about being late. Not having to wake up early to be on time. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it. Yeah. I'll probably choose that one. I'll probably copy and paste that one as well. Okay, and the last one would be, what is the best advice you have received?
The best advice I have received would probably be from my dad. Oh my God, African parents, you know them. Was when I was going to my undergrad university.
Yeah.
The only thing he kept saying after every sentence is, forget where you're coming from. Because you know how most people are when they go to the university.
Yeah.
Like, they forget where they're coming from, they join friends.
Yeah.
So, always remember your roots. That's
know your values.
very, very important.
That's a nice one. Okay.
Sound like a professional.
Your dad must be proud. Hopefully, we'll send this episode to him when you're listening and be like, my child. Okay. Yeah, so we are both abroad.
Unfortunately.
We both come from different countries.
Yeah.
Mommy is from Ghana.
I come from the best part of Ghana. The best part of Africa.
Okay.
Yeah. Argue under the comments. No one cares.
So she's from Ghana, like she said, the best part of Africa, but
I'll
not get into that argument.
Of Africa.
I will not get into conversation with regards to that. Like, Namibia is, I think.
Can there be an argument if it's the truth?
It's like the Jollof conversation or the Jollof argument. So let's not get into it. Okay. Okay, she's from Ghana, from the lovely city called Accra.
Accra? Actually not from Accra. I live in Accra. But I'm from a small town in the western region.
It's called
Oh my gosh, she can't remember, guys. It's Boinso. Yeah, that's what it's called. Said T, nowhere near.
We are both in the UK. We both are immigrants. We share similar challenges, struggles. So moving abroad, for me at least, has been such an eye-opening experience. I have recently shared in my previous episode about moving abroad and the challenges, but it's also, not just challenges, it comes with benefits as well.
Yeah.
What was your why? Why did you move abroad?
Why did I move?
Yeah.
Why did I move abroad? Basically, I just felt really stagnant, like where I used to work. Didn't enjoy it. I just felt like I needed an out. And so, that's why I made the move, made my plans. I mean, it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
At a point, I gave up.
Okay.
I wanted to go to China in the beginning,
Oh,
and that worked up to a point. Then it didn't work anymore,
okay.
and then I gave up for a while.
Mm.
And then I think just after COVID, when everything started to open up,
Yeah,
and I gave it another shot, and then
it worked.
it worked. And
Yeah, you
yeah,
are.
yeah.
So why China? What were you going to do in China? Study,
Oh
work?
no, like that was I think a few years after my undergrad. I just
Ah,
wanted to quickly do my masters,
yeah.
but then that didn't work out. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, so now we're in the UK,
yeah, unfortunately.
experiencing this lovely weather.
Oh no.
So, what would you say are the biggest lessons that you have learned when moving abroad?
Moving
Since,
abroad. I mean, I'll say one thing that you really learn, like in general, when you move abroad, is being very open minded. Because coming from Africa, like you do things differently,
yeah,
but then you come here and then you have to adjust to the way of life of the people here. So if you come here with the mindset of, oh, this is what we do where I come from, you be very unhappy most of the time. So
yeah, you just have to like
yeah,
sink in, like
yeah. I mean, be open minded, but then also don't lose your values and stuff like that. Just people do things differently, people talk differently, people behave differently. So don't expect them to be like where you're coming from. So,
yeah.
yeah.
And I think that's like one of the greatest challenges people face. Because I think I saw a TikTok or was it an Instagram post where someone said, I come from, was it Nigeria or Cameroon or something? And they said, only when I moved abroad to the UK, that's obviously someone saying that they
Yeah.
moved to the UK, did they know that they're black? Because in their country,
Yeah,
they
it's
never
not a
thought of it
thing.
like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, we all have this same skin color. So it's not
yeah,
a thing where you're like, oh, we're all black. No.
yeah.
But you come here and you are the black person. Like you
Mm,
go to work, you're the only black person. You go to class, you're the only black person in your class. You're on the bus, you're the only black person walking down the street. Like, yeah, you
and it,
only notice it when you get here.
yeah, that's true. And just on that, I think it comes with its challenges.
Yeah.
I remember when I used to work, being the only black person in, let's say, the room or presenting, even presenting,
Yeah.
it feels like all eyes are on you. And also when you do work, I feel you do like double work because you kind of have to prove that you're worthy of whatever.
Yeah.
And it's not that you lack any skills. Let's put it out there. It's not that you lack any skills, not that you lack any confidence. You can have the confidence, but you have to do double because your other color counterparts, they just do half the work, and it's amazing.
And it's okay. Yeah. They I mean, they do so little and they get away with it. But you have to go the extra mile. Yeah.
And also the other thing is, I was reading on one WhatsApp group.
Not all of them, by the way, most of them.
Yeah, most of them. And this is our opinion, so there's no right or wrong here.
Yeah.
It's our opinion, it's our experiences. So the other thing is also one lady was mentioning that, you know, the black culture is you get the job, you have to do the job. Don't complain because that's what you need to do and get it over and done with. However, here, it's not the same because people complain. Like even my colleagues were complaining about silly things. I'll be like, just get over yourself.
Yeah.
Just do the work.
True.
But then it's actually a strategy because she said when they had their probation period come to an end, she didn't get her probation confirmed because she believes that because she didn't complain that much, even though she did her work, her boss just felt like she's not, you know, it's not enough or something. Because she says my white counterpart in this scenario, she got the job even though she did half the job. She was always complaining about replying to emails, attending to clients and so forth, which makes you think like, can it ever be fair?
I mean, it can't. It will never be fair.
Yeah.
Because first of all, there's white privilege.
Yeah.
And you are somewhere new and you're kind of outnumbered. So it will never be fair. Like you just have to get used to it. and move past it. It will never be fair.
And
It's sad, but it's true.
Yeah, and it takes a lot. It takes you having thick skin. Summertime when we were students, I was on the bus on my way to uni, and it's hot. Like the UK gets hot.
Yeah.
Like it's very humid hot, so it's uncomfortable. And one guy was like, "Oh my goodness, this is so hot. This is like Africa." And I thought to myself, in Namibia it's hot, but there's fresh air.
Yeah.
Like it's hot, but there's a breeze. Like when the wind blows, you feel the heat.
Yeah.
Here there's no breeze. Here I feel like I'm suffocating. Even me coming from Namibia, I'm like, this is extreme.
It's hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you say, "Oh, it's so hot," and they're like,
you're from
yeah,
Africa,
but
like
it's still hot.
yeah. So those are the things you just have to sometimes, and also learn to know which battles to fight.
Yeah.
I always say that, like,
True.
don't want to fight every battle because it's not worth it.
Yeah.
If you feel like, okay, they're probably, it has to do with your religion and something that you value much, then probably stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
But if it's something as small as like someone saying Africa is hot, and now I have to take on the whole entire bus just because of that comment like that.
And also, honestly, I don't know how some people are going to feel about this, but some things are really not that deep.
Yeah.
It's not that deep. Like, just ignore it and move on. I mean, it's different if like someone's hurling racial slurs and some stuff like that. But if they say, "Oh, it's so hot like Africa," it's really not. I mean, yes, it's hot in some parts of Africa, but
it's not that. So what are the misconceptions that people have about moving abroad that you have found?
Misconception number one, especially I move abroad, I finish my education, I get a job, make money, I buy a house, I make money, I buy a car.
Okay.
I mean, they're all achievable, but are they realistic as to your timelines? No,
that's true.
Because first of all, coming here, learning, adapting to a different style of learning, style of teaching, man, that's also something. Writing essays, writing exams, it's different. You're not used to it, so that comes with its own challenge. And then finding a job, oh my goodness. If I tell you the number of rejection emails I have in my inbox, if I got £1 for every rejection email, it's draining. It's really draining. Like, you get depressed, you be like, what's going on? It's not like you are not good, but like sometimes you apply for the job and 5 minutes later you get the rejection email.
Yeah,
that can't be possible. I just applied for the job. So
on rejection emails, and that's true though, it gets to you.
Yeah,
like I don't even understand. Like, I don't think people back home understand the struggle, how hard it is to actually get a job, and how expensive it is. I always say, like, when people are like, you live in the UK, you get paid in pounds.
Yeah, but I have bills to pay, you know?
In pounds. You pay bills in pounds, you don't pay bills in rent or dollars. You know, you pay bills in pounds. So which means, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
But the other thing is also that the rejection emails really take a toll on your mental health.
It really does. It really does.
It's not easy to get a job. It's I don't like it's that should be like, I don't know. If I can write a book, I would write a book. Like,
you keep applying, you keep getting rejected. For me, at a point, I stopped. I've only just started up again, but I think I just stopped. I gave up because there's only so much a person can take, and I think I've got to my so much. It was just too much.
It takes a lot.
Yeah,
it really does. And we've seen countless people, go into fields that really have nothing to do with it, just to
be able to pay your bills.
Yeah, to be able to pay your bills. And it's a sad truth, because I think it's very important for people to understand that don't think you'll move abroad and it will be easy. I always say, don't make promises as well.
Yeah.
Before you leave, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get there and I'm gonna pay back. because it's not the reality. People
No.
on the ground are saying that it's tough and it's hard. It is hard. We're not saying that people don't make it. We're saying that it takes resilience, and it
Yeah.
really takes a lot. It takes a lot. Um, there was one thing I heard about when people get rejections within 5 minutes after applying. Apparently, it's the name. So
Oh.
this new systems, because it's now AI, based, so they kind of just throw out all this African
Yeah.
names. So if your name, like my African name is Tati, so if it's like Tati and my
Yeah.
surname was something, they'll just throw it out.
And I even feel like for immigrants, it's not even about getting the job. It's
Mm-hmm.
about getting the job that will give you the sponsorship.
That's true.
That's the thing.
That's a hustle.
Because most of these companies don't want to go through the trouble of sponsoring you. So that's another thing.
And I believe that many immigrants are willing to pay for their own license.
Yeah, they are, but
If
the thing is the company needs to have the license. So
yeah, but it's just it's hard. It is hard. Oh my
it's
god,
hard.
I cannot.
Yeah.
It's like one of those topics like you just don't know where to start because it's so much.
It's hard. It just gets at a point you just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop
And even
applying.
now, like the UK is not the best place to work in. We saw stats. I think UK is the worst country to live in currently. I'm speaking under correction, but that's what I saw on Instagram. I can't remember what broadcast company
Yeah.
broadcast that, but they said the UK is the worst country to live in. So maybe look at going to the US or
Or any other
Australia.
country in Europe.
But
Yeah.
people think that when you say like, no, the UK is not nice, you're trying to prevent them from coming
No,
here.
I mean you can come. It's up to you. You don't do what works best for you. You don't need to listen to someone and make your decision. Like, yeah, listen to advice, do your own research, but then at the end of the day, it's you that you're making up your own mind. So
That's true.
yeah.
So, how does moving abroad affect one's identity and values?
I mean, for me, I wouldn't say it had affected my identity or my values.
Okay.
Because I'm just a work home person. So
Yeah.
that's who I've been even back home. So
Oh, yeah. I think for someone, I think it depends on your upbringing. Obviously, it also depends on your way of life.
yeah.
How eager are you? You get curious kids even after school. They already go to, like, let's say for instance, I lived in a small town, right?
Yeah.
Called Wolfish Bay. So when you're done with high school, because there's no university in the town, you go to Windhoek, which is the capital city of Namibia. So most people go to Windhoek because now they have freedom. You
Yeah.
can make new friends. You have access to all this other things that you don't have back in your small village.
Yeah.
You kind of, when you're curious, you can try drugs. You can try
True.
LGBTQ. Maybe you're in the closet.
Yeah.
Now you have access to that because no one is really looking at you.
But for me, the thing is, I'd rather be in my bed. I mean, you know me. I'd rather be in my bed. So
I think we see people come from different places, right? Where someone was a Muslim, they wear the hijab at all times.
yeah,
They come to the UK because of freedom and because of how liberal the UK is. You have
do
so many
whatever
rights.
You want. No one cares, man. You can walk up down the street naked. Nobody cares.
Yeah, the UK is so free, and I think once you experience that, especially if you feel that you're in a country where you're being held back.
Yeah.
Now you have this right, and you have people that actually stand with you.
Yeah.
It's different.
You can do whatever you want. Like, for example, I go to the gym. Like, you go to the gym, you're doing your workout. You think, oh, this person, man, they're not watching you.
Yeah.
Nobody cares what you're doing. If you like come naked, they don't care. Nobody's watching you. That's the thing. You can do whatever you like.
Yeah, the UK is, or at least for us. Like, I can only speak about the UK because I haven't lived in any other country, but it's quite different. When I moved here first, it took a while to adjust. Like, I was like, people are weird.
Especially coming from Africa where everyone is in everybody's business. But growing up, you can't do certain things because your mother's friend will see you or your neighbor will see you, and then it'll get back to your mom or it'll get back to your dad. But literally nobody cares over here.
I think my thing is also going back home for holiday, because your mind is so used to now nobody cares. I
Using
can
your
do
left
whatever.
hand.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I don't know how many times I got in trouble when I went back home. Using my left, I had to tell myself, you're back home. Stop
Yeah.
using your left hand. Stop using it. Oh my god.
Yeah, so it really plays with your mind, because I just
Yeah.
remember there are just certain things where you think like, really,
Like,
you
so this
do
is
I
not
need
normal.
yeah.
Like, especially going out and having to carry cash.
Yeah.
Oh my days.
You guys don't have a tapping machine. Oh my goodness, that was a big thing. My cousins were like, yeah, this is not the UK. But it's not even that you're trying to be funny. But
but you're so
I don't even go with my ATM card.
Yeah, like the other day I was going to buy something. They said contactless is not available at the moment. I'm like, come on, who carries their card anymore? Nobody
Yeah.
carries their card.
Nobody carries their card, because I went to Namibia. I had to swipe. Fine, I did it with my card, but I don't know
my PIN. I don't know my PIN.
Exactly. I didn't know my PIN, and the woman was like, "Is this your card?" I'm like,
yes.
Yeah. I'm like, look at the. But she's like, "How do you not know your PIN?" I said,
Because nobody
I don't
inserts
think I've
their card.
ever inserted my PIN in an ATM machine before. Like, it's not a thing.
But seriously, you come here and then you go back home and you notice like how far behind we are on certain things. Like, I can speak for only Ghana. My Ghanaians, please don't come for me. Like something as little as like roads and like easy transportation. It's not the best. I'm not saying it's not there, but it's not the best. Like having constant supply of electricity. You know how like back home, if you're from Ghana, you know this, like you can't let your phone get to a certain percentage because they might take the lights. Like here I can let my phone go to like 5%. I know there's always light. And then you go home, they take the lights. Like even now it's a big problem again in Ghana, where everyone's complaining about like lights not being available at certain times. Like they just take the lights at any time. Like you come here, you get so used to it, and you forget your problems back home, and you go back and you're like, oh, I'm back here again. Yeah,
that's true. It's just, I think it's the little things. For me, it's like the small things, like a cab being on time when I book a cab. It's customer service. Oh my goodness, like it gets to me. Like, can you just not smile? Like,
have you used an Uber service or a Bolt service in Ghana? Oh my god, the driver will call you and say, where are you going? And tell you, I can't go to that place, there's too much traffic or your roads are bad. Or tell you to increase the amount that you're supposed to pay, otherwise they will not go. That's not
but then when you
but that's not a thing. You book your Uber, you sit in, it takes you wherever you are. And you don't even have to pay with cash. Pay with card. Why can't we pay with card?
Oh my goodness, yeah. I think this is privileges of living abroad.
Yeah.
You see? So there are nice things of living abroad.
There are nice things. Yeah.
They are.
But the nice things out there. The nice things are there, but then also, man, you're missing out on like the little things. Like people are growing up, people are getting married, your friends are getting married, you can't attend their weddings. Like you can't just be there for the little things that happen, and you go back home and everything's changed. Like people have moved on without you. Like how dare you move on without me?
I think the most hurtful one is support system. I think just thinking about anything, you just the friendships, like even with it's because we're so busy. Like you work, I have school. It's just meeting you have to schedule, and it's not
you have to schedule months, and even that one, anything can happen. So
you know, like even today, like we have scheduled these things
so many times.
And it's just back home you can just walk up to someone's door and it's done, and that's what it is.
Like even when you get home, like you're living with your parents and your siblings, you get home, oh, how was work? And you have a little conversation, you all sit down, you watch TV, But here you get home, you make your sad little dinner, you eat, you go to bed, and then it's back to the routine the next day.
And this is why when people say, "Oh yeah, when how why is it that people moving abroad start kids late, having kids later?" I always say like because let's take two scenarios. I live abroad. If I have
Yeah.
to have a kid now, which means I need to take a year out of because
Yeah.
maternity leave here is a year. So you take a year
Which
out.
is a
You need to look after your kid yourself.
yeah.
It's not like home where you have
You
a
have
nanny
your
from somewhere.
not even your nanny, you have family
Yeah.
members, like you have it's not even only family members. Like with me, I have this lady that we attend church with.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
she's basically become my mom's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I used to babysit her kids.
Oh yeah.
Like all four of her kids, I babysat all of them. But here it's not like that. You can't just trust anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you can't just trust anyone to give your child to in general, but you have more support
Yeah,
like
you
back
do.
home.
I
You
always
have
think
your
like
right. You can just I could just go to wherever my sister is and leave my
yeah,
child with her. I don't need to ask.
that's the thing.
But
Here
yeah,
it's
there's
like
so many protocols. Oh, mom, why did you call me before coming to my house?
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
It's a different world. But in as much as it's different, it comes with its benefits and
yeah,
challenges. And yeah, as I think as time goes, obviously we encounter different things. And
yeah,
this is our story, so this is our experiences. Someone else will tell you a different story because people come from different backgrounds and how you encounter things are different.
yeah.
So yeah, this is our 2 cents on and making friends. Wait, before we end this conversation.
Oh, also, I also want to talk about one very, very like major challenge that I encountered, like being here,
Yeah.
was when my mom fell sick.
Oh yeah.
Like I used to be the child that was always with my parents
Mm-hmm.
because my sister works out of Accra, my brother is not in the country.
Yeah.
So I was the one who was always with them. But they're not being able to be there, like when my mom was like really, really sick.
Mm.
That was also another hard thing. Like, you don't have anyone to talk to. Oh man.
For me, I think I'm also traumatized when I get calls from home, especially early in the morning, and it's like
Yeah.
4 missed calls. I already start praying. I'm just like, God, please, no, please, please, because
Yeah.
you're constantly because you're not home, so you
You
know
don't know what's
yeah,
going
what's going on.
on.
So if I get missed calls like from my brother and probably two from my mom and one from
Yeah.
my cousin, I'm just like, oh God, can you?
But the most annoying thing is that they'll just be, oh, we haven't heard from you in a long time. So
Yeah, yeah, and you're
so
like,
why 4
really?
a.m.? You
Yeah,
couldn't call me at any other time, 4 a.m.
that's true. That's true. But yeah, it's a lot of
Like
struggles.
one day my sister woke me up like, way too early. Oh, I haven't seen your face in it.
Like for real.
So you can't call me at any other time.
uh, but yeah, um, it's interesting. I think
Yeah.
living abroad is like an eye opener. I think the main thing is that you get to learn so much. You
Yeah.
grow as a person.
Yeah.
Even if all things are falling apart, you're not getting the job that you want. You as a human being, you evolve
Yeah.
to an extent that you didn't even think you would or you can.
Yeah.
Like for me specifically, like I think the woman I am today is I would have never thought I would be this woman, like the way I am. So it forces you to be independent as well.
Yeah,
So you
it gets
think
you out of your comfort zone
yeah.
because
And
you
then
don't
that
have
gets
anyone
and that
and you
becomes a
can't give
norm.
up. You have to keep pushing
Yeah.
and yeah.
And you have you because constantly now is you can't also call back home because people are also
Yeah.
busy and you don't want to burden people too much. So you constantly have to stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
And that it's like you become your own cheerleader.
Yeah, true.
That's
true. Because I remember I'm the person that never complain. Like say I go out and I'm not receiving like good service and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I used to be the person who tell my sister, "Oh, it's fine, let's go." But like you come here and you see the way people are standing up for this, even like teenagers standing up for themselves for their littlest things. Like, so I went home.
Mm-hmm.
I think we ordered something and waited so long. I'm like, no, it wasn't even a restaurant. I went to this like dentist type place thingy
Oh yeah.
on appointment. Yeah, I had booked an appointment. Tell me why I had to wait an hour and 30 minutes after my appointment time, and I was still waiting. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, so why do we have an appointment?
Yeah.
I was surprised for myself. I'm like, oh wow. Me before would have sat down probably the whole day and said nothing. But
And just be okay.
Yeah.
And that's also me. Like,
Yeah.
I was so shy, just even complaining about food at a restaurant, or
yeah,
asking someone like, "Oh, where's the aisle for what?" Like now, I constantly, like,
mean,
I just walk and I don't
yeah.
care. I'm like, "Excuse me, can you help me with this?"
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I mean, if you don't ask for help,
Yeah.
the thing is, if you don't ask, you don't get it here.
Yeah. Especially like, let's say for instance, you go to London and you have to take the underground, or you have to take the tube, and that is a spot on itself. Like if you don't know the way, and you don't
ask,
and you don't read carefully, you'll end up on the other side. So you have to ask questions. And even a stranger, because like underground they don't really have a lot of stuff.
A lot of
So it's more a stranger. Oh, sorry, is this train going to what, Stratford?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, is this train going to Liverpool, whatever?
Yeah.
And then that's the only way. And it doesn't take anything. You just realize like, oh my goodness, I was so.
It's not even that hard. Yeah.
It's not that deep. Why
Yeah.
wasn't this girl? But yeah, I love it. I love the woman I am today. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah.
Moving abroad definitely does take you out of your comfort zone, and it makes you grow so much. So, last question.
Yeah.
What do you define success? So, what is success? Is it a feeling? Is it a thing? What is it? Because different people have different answers. So,
Oh, success.
yeah.
I didn't hear that. How do I define? I mean, I wouldn't say it should be determined by maybe how much money you have,
Okay.
but just within yourself, are you happy? I mean, happiness should really, because if you're not happy and you're doing the thing that you don't like, man, you'll be miserable every day.
Oh yeah.
So I would define it as, am I happy with where I am or with what I'm doing? Yes, I would say it's a feeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's a good answer. It's interesting to always hear people's answers. Everybody is like, it's when I have $1 million, that's success. Other people are.
I mean,
but I guess
that's also a different kind of success. But then
I guess success is subjective. It can't be objective because everybody has a different definition of what it means to them. And I also feel that it transforms as you transform. Because now it might feel like fulfillment, but once you are fulfilled, you're doing what you love. Maybe it just feels like maybe
what's next?
What's next? So you know, like you transform. Because I'm like, when I was 16, my definition of success was definitely not fulfillment.
Oh, that was definitely having a house and a car.
Having a few $1 million in the bank, that was success. But now the older you get, I think life experiences and so forth, you just change the definition. But yeah, this is the end of the discussion. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And okay, ciao guys.